Welcome back to Algebra 2, Chapter 5, Section 7 in this book. And we are talking about graphing and solving quadratic inequalities. Remember inequalities greater than, less than, or equal to, which is Pac-Man eating the ghost, and he wants to eat more ghosts. So the mouse goes to whatever's bigger, and that's what Pac-Man wants to eat. Now what if it's a quadratic equation and an inequality? I'm going to show you how to do it 1987 style, and then I'm going to show you 2020. So pay attention for 1987 because you might have to show the work for it in college, but then I'm going to show you how I want you to do it. Okay, so I need to find some points. This is a quadratic equation, and so what I would do is I would notice this can be factored. You multiply 3 and 1 to get 3, but you add or subtract them to get 2. So I know that my intercepts are 3 and negative 1. So I'm going to put a dot at negative 1 and a dot at 3, because remember your intercepts are the opposite signs of your factors. Now remember, if it's a fraction, the intercepts are fractions. If there's a number here, it swings down to the denominator. But if there's not a number with x, it's whole numbers. Okay, next I need the vertex. So the formula is you average your intercepts to get the vertex. So 3 plus negative 1 is 2 divided by 2, so it's 1. So I know my axis, the line down the middle, is at 1. And I need to know, well, where is it? So I fill 1 back into my equation, 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 3, and that's negative 4. So I put a dot at 1, negative 4, and real smooth, I draw my parabola. Now I know this one goes up because this is positive. My A coefficient is positive. Next I have to figure out, do I color, oh, it's a solid line, oh, it should be a dotted line. Should be a dotted line because, look, now it's dotted, because it's greater than, not greater than, or equal to. If it was or equal to, it'd be solid. Okay, next, I need to decide, do I color the inside or the outside? Well, the origin is clearly on the inside, so I do it as a test point. And I see if I fill in 0, 0, does this make a true sentence? 0 is greater than 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 3. All those become 0, and you get 0 is greater than negative 3. And yes, 0 is greater than negative 3, so I color the inside. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Use your colored pencils, make it pretty, use graph paper. Okay? That's how you do it. Now, that's 1987, an easy one. Some of these are tough. So what I want you to do is embrace 2020. Embrace the 20s technology. I want you to first graph it on your graphing calculator. How you do the greater than, less than is it's an app under, it's under app, not program, and it's called Inequals. And we say Inequals because we like Z's, we're the cool kids. And it comes on your calculator, so it should be there. Everybody can go look and find it. You turn it on, and then you get to choose greater than, less than. Now with some of the very newest ones, you choose greater than, less than by arrowing over to where the Y1, Y2 is. So you might have to play with your calculator and figure it out, but you need to be able to get the greater than, less than stuff. Watch the calculator labs also. Okay, then go hit trace, and then you can get your points. If x is 1, y is 0, you can get these points, and then you can do the second trace for minimum to get the vertex. So you get your points from your calculator, you put them on your graph paper, you color it. 2020, you got to do it that way. Nobody has time for 1987 anymore. The music's great, but the math takes too much time. Alright, so here we're going to do these two. Okay, so I'm doing it in 1987 still. So first of all, I realize that this is the difference between two squares. So my factors are going to be plus or minus 2 because I have to get rid of, the b term has to be 0. So I know those are zeros, so these are my first ones. I got negative 2 gets a dot and positive 2 gets a dot. And then to get my vertex, I average them, and 2 plus minus 2 divided by 2 is 0, because 2 minus 2 is 0 and 0 divided by 2 is 0. So I know 0 is my axis, so I fill in 0 for x, and 0 squared is still 0 minus 4 is 4. So I know 1, 2, 3, 4, that's my vertex. It's or equal to, so I color it, and I do solid, and I do a test point. 0, 0 is clearly in the middle, doesn't make a true statement. 0 is greater than negative 4. Yes, it is, so the inside gets colored. Now this is a system of linear inequalities, which is fancy math talk for we're going to do this twice on the same piece of graph paper. So now I got my red one, and so I get my factors here, and they are 2 and negative 1, so my points are negative 2, so this one's still the same, and this one is 1. Okay, I average them, and it's a half. I fill back in a half, and I get that y would be equal to 2 1/4. So x is a half, y is 2 1/4 right there. And notice this is negative, so I know my u here is going down. More fun with sound effects. Alright? Now, in reality, that's a big old pain. So we're going to do it 20/20. If you put your A, B, and C into A quad, it will give you the vertex. Boom. Or you can get it by graphing it and doing second trace for it will be the maximum, because this is negative. Sometimes your calculator, instead of giving you what it exactly is, it will give you really, really close. So for example, if the maximum is at 2, it'll say 0.99999999. But if you do a quad program, and if you don't have it, get one, a good quadratic equation, left off the U, a quad program. Make sure you get one that gives the vertex and get one that gives imaginary answers, alright? So now we need to do our test point. 0, 0 is clearly in it, so is 0 less than 2? Yes it is, so I color the inside. Now what is the answer to this system of quadratic, I think I said linear, quadratic inequalities? What is considered the answer is the part that was colored twice. It's that right there is considered the solution, the answer to the system of quadratic inequalities. Alright, that was fun because you get to use your colored pencils. Math is great. Come back and we'll learn some more really about your calculator in the next section.